So, last weekend, my roommates and I decided we were finally mature enough to throw a proper dinner party. We're talking candlelight, cloth napkins, and, because we're adults, not a single solo cup in sight. We even made a PowerPoint to assign duties. I was on appetizers, Jake was main course, and Alyssa was atmosphere, which mostly meant she watched a lot of Great British Bake Off and judged us from the couch. Everything was going smoothly, except for one tiny hiccup: our fridge was emptier than my bank account after rent. But then Jake remembered the emergency reserve in the back of the freezer. You know, the shelf where food goes to die. He emerged victorious, holding up several Tupperwares with barely legible labels, most of which said things like "Do not eat 2019" and "Save for science." Alyssa squinted and said, "Well, cheese is supposed to be aged, right?" And honestly, that sounded like logic to us. So we defrosted everything, spiced it up, and arranged it all on our fanciest mismatched plates. Guests started arriving, and we all congratulated ourselves on being hosts of the year. About 20 minutes into the meal, people started getting suspicious. One guy poked a suspiciously gray meatball and asked, "Is this vegan?" Someone else whispered, "Is it supposed to fizz?" Alyssa loudly declared, "It's a molecular gastronomy thing, you probably haven't heard of it." I tried to distract them by passing around more bread, but people were starting to look like they were reenacting a live episode of Fear Factor. Jake, ever the optimist, said, "It's fine, it's just got character." Which, apparently, is not reassuring when your chicken is the color of a storm cloud. Things really went south when someone found a fossilized pea and asked if we were serving an archaeological tasting menu. It was at that moment we realized that age to perfection is not a universal compliment, especially when it comes with a side of possible botulism. On the bright side, our party was unforgettable, and not just because of the flavor profiles, but because we learned that when it comes to leftovers, vintage is best left to wine, not to whatever's lurking behind the frozen peas.